This is not the cleanest bathtub in the world, but it's cleaner. That soap scum smell. It smells like life, at least compared to you. The bathtub slowly fills with water. The water beckons. The water is only lukewarm, but still comforting, like amniotic fluid. A few beer cans are bobbing up and down along your flanks, like sad duckies. Now you are alone with your thoughts in the tub, but it's easier than being alone with your thoughts outside the tub. Your fingers grow pale and are covered with tiny whirls as the water cools. You see the corpse. You can still smell the cadaver on you. It's going to take more than one bath to get rid of that stench. Then, houses along a narrow street. A video rental. Darkness on the planet's curvature. The waterline recedes as you stand. You are cold now. Your clothes stick to your still moist skin.
Again? I can't believe this shit.
Hey, was there something you needed?
Well, well. Bringing him that new bird sure made a difference in his attitude.
No, you don't. It's not happening.
You need to approach this situation logically. Ask him why he has the PA system installed if you can't use it.
It's for no one. It's a prop. I'm not letting anyone use it after the great karaoke catastrophe of '44. A lot of people got killed because some arsehole wanted to sing karaoke. Okay, yes, it's for some clients. Ha! Well, we don't have any tapes. They all got stolen.
He's lying, but whatever. You don't really need his lame tracks. The man in the vest and the violet shirt stares at the tape you've just given him. He begins to frown.
Fine, fine. Climb on that stage and do your thing. Just get out of my hair. I'll plug it in for you. Damn this karaoke machine.
I'm having it uninstalled, he mumbles to himself. The stage is all set up for your performance. Feels silent. You can hear the pellets creak under your feet. You feel a little dizzy, a little
So, are you ready for your thing now? Let me know when I should turn on the karaoke carousel.
Immediately, a loud feedback noise startles the room. You feel like an amateur. How are you supposed to hold the mic? Should you just sing into it? Hands. Where do you put your hands? There are some people out there, but mostly a post-meridian slumber has fallen on the premise. Not super lively. It would be wiser to perform in the evening, no? But the choice is yours. The stage is... You feel a little dizzy.
So, are you ready for your thing now?
There are some people out there, but mostly a post-meridian slumber has fallen on the premise. Not super lively. Paintbrush? Check. Heavy fuel oil. The paintbrush in your hand is like a loaded revolver. What will it be, Desperado? Quite a few things come to mind. The paintbrush in your hand is like a loaded revolver. What will it be, Desperado? Quite... You've spoken. The wall will now silently repeat the message for a decade or so, until the sea air degrades the paint, adding another layer of detritus to the city. The paintbrush in your hand. You've spoken. The wall will now silently... The paintbrush in your hand. You've spoken. The paintbrush in your hand is like a loaded revolver. What will it be, desperado? Quite a few things come to mind. You've spoken. The wall will now silently repeat the message for a decade or so, until the sea air degrades the paint. The paintbrush in your hand is like a loaded revolver. What will it be, desperado? Quite a few You've spoken.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural? You're back? Good. What can I help you with? I love you did.
She is memorizing your badge number.
Pleased to meet you, Lieutenant W. Freighter Dubois. I am glad to see a man of high qualification. The situation is precarious. What can I help you with, Lieutenant Freighter?
The front of this quarterly journal features a large satirical portrait of the late King Friesel. From the sides of his head, a pair of white antlers spread to the corners of the cover. Because Friesel was incompetent, foolish, and cruel. In short, the embodiment of everything the communards wished to overthrow. It's satire, you see. Because Friesel was incompetent, foolish, and cruel. In short, the embodiment of everything the communards. To your disappointment, there aren't any full-color pictures to direct your attention. Just column after column of closely set text. No advertisements, you notice. So who's funding this radical commentary? After rifling the pages with your thumb several times, You return to the table of contents. The magazine is divided into several sections. International development, Kunst und Kultur, and local concerns. Just inside the cover, there's also an editor's note. Comrade, as you know, this journal takes its name from Mazov's immortal expression, Du cristal à la fumée. This was his way of describing the way the rigid, crystalline structures of capitalist ideology turned to smoke under communism. But, like the structures of capitalist ideology, we too are at risk of going à la fumée. Unlike many publications which are content to spoon-feed their readers reassuring drivel, La Fumée is committed to telling the radical truth, even when that truth may drive away potential subscribers. Only 4 issues in, and it sounds like they've already alienated their readership. Perhaps they've overestimated the market demand for this kind of commentary. So please, if you value our radical Mazovian perspective on contemporary politics, culture, and international affairs, please consider subscribing today. Yours in struggle, the editors. You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you. This section includes a long, tedious critique of the latest round of free You also skip over an article about heavy fuel oil smug. Face it, you really aren't interested in foreign affairs. You flip back to the front of the magazine. It takes a moment, but gradually it dawns on you that Kunst und Kultur, why they decided to title this one section in Volda, is beyond you. Obviously, because it's cool to drop random phrases. It evokes a sense of recognition and fellowship among those privileged enough to understand. As you leaf through this section, you come across several reviews. The main feature, though, is a long essay titled Tip Top. This so-called artist spotlight is really just a brief Q&A. The actual article is surprisingly light. If you don't follow it, you only ever hear about the ludicrous sponsorships and obscene death toll. You think you're settling in for a relaxing recap. Instead, you find yourself skimming a 10,000... Where to even start? For one, there's the... So, all of it, basically. Oddly enough, this article has 2. There's no way those are real names. Have you ever met anyone named Exilus? Come on, they're more than that. They're likely anagrams. Under capitalism, the article says, every pursuit has its... Thus, the so-called tournée becomes a competition between increasingly meaningless brand signifiers. Your discount laundry detergent race, and that precisely is what's at the end of the day. It's the destruction of these 750,000 real races that you're really watching for. Sure, you think that, but subconsciously, it's the visions of brand names being in. That's because you haven't been reading critically. But don't. You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents. Unsurprisingly, much of this you skim the headline. Finally, there's a brief article by the writer, G. Martin, accusing the owner of the Cape Side apartments of illegally attempting to evict certain communist tenants simply for not having paid their rent. According to these editorials, there can be no accommodation with why do communists love puerile insults? You flip back to the front of the magazine. In your hands, you hold 16 days. Indeed, the book is unusual. You flip through. Real art is dense and difficult. If it didn't feel like you had to rest, the back cover is dominated. She can't be much older than her mid-30s in this photograph. In cold, detached prose, the author the Yugo-Grad riots took place as ethnic tensions run wild. It would physically hurt you to keep reading. Are you sure? They go through a brief and somewhat... He toils through the daily drudgery. She spends the next several decades standing. The memory of their short time spent together tortures the former lovers as life leaves their remains between the soil sheets. You hold in your hand the colorful primer. The title reads, "A Primer for Small Kids." This book will show you the score, get you oriented, the alphabet. Every page has one word designating one letter of the alphabet. A is for azimuth, H is for homeboy, I is for econ, J is for Yura, Q is for quasar. That's it. You know the alphabet now. You sit on the wind-worn wooden planks of the bench. Your feet ache. Time passes. The sun draws ever closer to the horizon. The sky is a panorama of intense colors. The twiddling barely keeps your hands warm. The stage is all set up for your performance. You feel a little dizzy.
So, are you ready for your thing now? Let me know when I should turn on the karaoke carousel.
The air is... The stage, you feel...
So, are you ready for your thing now? Let me know when I should turn on the karaoke carousel.
The air is... The stage, you feel...
So, are you ready for your thing?
The air is thick with anticipation. The stage, you feel...
So, are you ready for your thing?
The air is thick with anticipation. Someone dims the lights as the music starts. Okay, here we go.
I would often go there, to the tiny church there, the smallest church in Saint-San, though it once was larger. How the real may rest there. Down through the mist there, toward the Seven Sisters, toward those pale cliffs there. I would often stay there, in that tiny yard there. I have been so glad here, looking forward to the past here. But now, you are all alone. None of this matters. No, none of this matters at all.
A lazy applause fills the room. You feel your hands shake as awareness of your body returns to you. There is silence now, in the deep, where the voice came from. It has receded. This guy really carried you. The microphone amplifies your voice in an uncomfortable manner. Someone coughs. Most people have gone back to talking.
Good, good. Are we ready? I want to unplug the microphone now.
Last words?